You started from home.
I started from my couch.
कौन सा moment था when you felt like it's going big now?
Our first billboard went up. It was kind of a surreal for me that, okay, finally, the whole city can see. The whole team was there, hustling and yahan wahan bhag rahe the, and around 11 a.m. they said, okay, bahir bahut lambi line hai, marketing side and, heading the private label, the PR and the HR, even customer service also. I'm very hands-on with that. I really like to connect with the customers.
We had a lot of dissatisfied customers. अगर आप हमारे पुराने Instagram के posts जाके देखें तो a lot of bashing will be there. We were doing pre-orders. So it was not in our warehouse. Tracking system was not integrated. We used to lose orders. So there is your own personality and there is a business need. It should always be business needs where you need to finalize the priority. If tech is the most important, tech is the most important. Customer service is the most important, that is the most important.
The whole world will give up on you. It's your job not to give up on yourself. Our Instagram has been very, very active from the day I created it. Live sessions and live streaming, it's very big in China. So we brought it here in Pakistan.
Okay.
वहाँ पे से Alibaba and all these big players. हमारे पास बहुत कम बजट से. We had only budget, I remember 30,000 रुपए का हमारा बजट था. Youngsters, बहुत से youngsters आए गए, but जो भी उन्होंने टाइम Bagallery में गुजारा, they've given their 200%.
शुरुआत आपसे हुई और फिर आपकी core team, and then they have built this culture of so the junior level person is also taking an ownership.
बच्चियों ने, हमारे लड़कियों ने बहुत मेहनत की है. Especially I give it to the girls. लड़के तो कर ही लेते हैं, वो लड़कियाँ.
आप उन खवातीन के लिए इंस्पिरेशन है जो शादी के बाद काम करने का सोचती भी नहीं है. अस्सलाम वालेकुम, कैसे हैं आप लोग?
ठीक ठाक.
सबसे पहले थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग मी योर टाइम एंड आई एम रियली सॉरी मैंने आपका बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम ले लिया ऑलरेडी. बट अरे नहीं, दैट्स सो नाइस ऑफ यू. सो स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द जर्नी ऑफ Bagallery, कहाँ से शुरू हुआ? आई नो आपने स्टार्ट किया, मुझे कुछ चीज़ें पता भी है, बट फॉर आवर ऑडियंस आई लाइक टू आस्क अगेन, कैसे स्टार्ट हुआ, कैसे आइडिया आया, नाम किसने रखा, इस सब के बारे में बताएं.
So Bagallery का जो journey है, it started a few years ago. I was looking for a job. We were new in the Dubai, and at that time e-com industry was it was picking up in Dubai and in the Middle East region. So उसी वक्त मुझे कुछ ख्याल आया, I wanted to do something, लेकिन obviously I was a mother also. My son was very small at that point of time, so I could not go for something as demanding as 9 to 5 job. So shopping has always been my passion. So उसी पैशन को मद्देनज़र रखते हुए I started this venture Bagallery. इसका मैंने नाम इसलिए रखा था, a lot of people asked me because at that time we were only doing selling high-end luxury bags. UAE में इसको हम सेल कर रहे थे, तो तभी से मैंने Bagallery नाम रखा था, क्योंकि उस वक्त we didn't know at that point of time that it's going to expand and it will go beyond Bagallery. So this is the whole journey of Bagallery, and Salman has always been very supportive. He actually kept on pushing because when you start a business there are a lot of highs and lows, because I was dealing with high-end luxury bags. So at one time you do get your first order, फिर second order आते आते time लगता है. So जब तक वो second order नहीं आता, you do feel कि am I doing the right thing? You feel little overwhelmed and underwhelmed at the same point of time. But slowly and gradually we started building it up, and in around 2017 में जब हमने beauty introduce किया, उस वक्त हुदा कतान and she was a famous blogger. She had launched her brand at that point of time, and it was slowly picking up, not only in the Middle East but also in Pakistan also. लोगों को उसकी lipsticks and
so अपने bags के time पर you entered in Pakistani market as well.
Yes, we started उसमें हल्का हमने fashion वगैरह introduce किया. We started diverting a bit, जैसे high end luxury bags से slowly and gradually we started ending mid tier brands. So उसमें we saw a lot of potential.
And never thought of renaming it?
Actually बीच में ख्याल आया था, but Bagallery इतना it became a household name, and everybody remembered Bagallery so much. The brand recall होता है, the name, maybe the name was very different, so people really clinged on to it. Like a lot of times my friends जो शुरू में they know me and they still ask me how's Bagallery doing. So brand recall इतना was so good, we thought why not just be unique and just go with it.
Still a lot of people struggle. A lot of people call it Bagallery.
Yeah.
A lot of people Hassan calls it Bagallery.
Yeah,
A lot of people call it Bagallery.
Yeah.
And Bagallery track started at the same time, I think.
Yes.
So फिर हमने beauty introduce किया, and then beauty started picking up, and then it was never looking back kind of scene, or we kept on growing.
So what was the first breakthrough? मतलब कौन सा moment था when you felt like it's going big now?
I think there's not one moment, as I always say, because the journey has not been, किसी का journey linear नहीं होता. There are turns and twists and turns. But for me, the most important point in my time, I don't know, Salman ka maybe different hoga, when our first billboard went up.
Okay.
So that was something, it was kind of a surreal for me that, okay, finally, the whole city can see what Bagallery is. So that point is really, really important for me, and it really, gives me that kind of strength whenever you're feeling down. So, आपको लगता है कि okay, we've gone big. I think इसके बाद जो second था, जब हमने last year Glam Fest किया था in Karachi. So around 11 a.m.
That was huge.
That was huge. And I was like, maybe nobody is gonna come. So I was, with that mindset. And when the whole team was there, hustling and यहाँ वहाँ भाग रहे थे, and around 11 a.m. they said, okay, बाहर बहुत लंबी लाइन है. So yeah, that was quite a pinching moment for me. So
but I think मुझे ऐसा लगता है the lot of credit goes to the marketing. I mean the way you market. अभी से नहीं, ग्लैम फेस्ट से नहीं, उससे पहले से ही that influencer marketing वाला game. I'll come to that as well. But I want to ask in between the question is that आपने कब join किया फिर?
देखिए मेरी घर में तो बॉस काफ़ी पहले से हैं, लेकिन मेरी ऑफिशियल बॉस ये जो है लास्ट 2 years से हैं. उससे पहले I was with her, supporting her as a back-end support in terms of finances, in terms of mentorship, some operational part also. But I was still working in a corporate world. So from last 2 years exactly, I left the job and I joined her as a co-founder and CEO. And since then, there's no looking back.
So what are the roles? How the roles you guys have been dividing?
So I think सबकी अपनी अपनी strengths होती हैं. I was always very good with the creative side and the marketing side, and heading the private labels, the PR and the HR, even customer service also. I'm very hands-on with that. I really like to connect with the customers, on grassroots level. And Salman has always been a champion in number. Like nobody can challenge his number game and power. I mean, he's really good at that. So
heading finance probably.
Yes.
No, I think it's more of people management. What I do, more of strategy overall. Then fundraisers. It's a full-time job itself. And then operationally, managing, on-ground operations is something which is very important. So that is more what I do, and she has already told what she does.
Yeah, so we try not to step on each other's grounds and but obviously the crowd to hota hai on and off with difference of opinion. So we try to come up with a.
But as he said, you're the boss, so I think we're.
उस पे क्या फिर मैं argue करूँगा?
Yeah.
अच्छा, so my next question is for you both. आपकी जो entrepreneurial journey रही है, क्योंकि 4 साल 5 साल में किसी भी ब्रांड को इतना ह्यूज ग्रोथ तक लेकर आना इज एक्चुअली एग्जेम्पलरी. तो आपकी, क्योंकि जो सेगमेंट्स आप देख रही हैं उसमें आपकी क्या लर्निंग्स रही जो आप एंटरप्रेन्योर्स को बताना चाहेंगी, और फिर आपकी लर्निंग्स?
देखिए, my learning is always if you're thinking of starting with something, like I meet a lot of people, like different women especially, and they're always like हम सोच रहे हैं, हम करें नहीं करें. So मेरी यही learning है, if you want to do something, start, and if you want to start now. So don't think कि मैं आगे maybe 2 सालों में करूँगी या 3 सालों में करूँगी, maybe हालात बेहतर होंगे या situation ऐसी होगी. So my learning is अगर आपने करना है, then just go for it now.
और बहुत सारे लोग ये समझते हैं कि शादी से पहले ही जो करना है करो, उसके बाद कुछ नहीं हो सकता. And you started after that, after marriage.
Absolutely. So
and how tough it was?
I think I have a good support system. वो बहुत ज़रूरी है. Like जो भी background में जो काम हो रहा होता है, अगर वो नहीं होता, and alhamdulillah our son, mashallah, he is going to be 15 in July. So वो काफ़ी बड़े हैं, so he just handles things on his own also. And Salman has been very supportive also.
But when you started, तब तो I think वो कितने साल का था?
He was around
8, 9.
Yeah, 8, 9. Yeah. But he has seen our journey also.
You started from home.
Yes, I started from my couch. Yes, that was something. It's a what I love about Bagallery is like it's a homegrown brand that has become a household name in just a few years. So I think ये अपने आप में ही एक बहुत phenomena है, which I try to crack the code also, because when I started I didn't have this motive कि okay we will become like this, and I was like okay let's do something, let's take it as a hobby. But the whole journey has been really amazing. I think Allah Ta'ala has been really kind on us also. I think अगर आपकी नीयत अच्छी हो, then Allah Ta'ala does make things आपके लिए चीज़ आसान हो जाता है,
आसान कर देता है. सर आपकी learnings?
I think देखिए, आप कोई भी चीज़ जब out of passion करते हैं तो उसमें कहीं ना कहीं आपको सक्सेस ज़रूर मिल जाती है. It might take a little bit of time, So when I suggested her to do it, because I know she had a passion to do shopping, so I knew that she most probably do good in this area also, because she loves shopping. So when you have love for something, you try to do in a natural way.
And she can understand from the perspective of a customer.
Absolutely, how you will do shopping and everything. So I think because it was a passion for her, and then I also like shopping, to be very honest. So that's why I was confident at certain point of time success will come. And I think the other thing is, if you want to make a mark, you have to think big. You have to think aggressive, and you have to think big. Now, yes, a lot of time these people come back to me and they say that you dream too much or you dream too big.
Okay.
But I think that's important. I mean, if you want to become a household name, then you have to think like that. If you don't think like that, you don't act like that. And if you don't act like that, you don't achieve that. So I think it is important that your thinking big phenomena is there, and then you have a passion. And I think last but not the least is the most important thing is having the right team. If we are big today or if we are known today, it is not because of me or Mina at all. It is the team whom we hired in the beginning, who has been with us since then. They are the ones who have made the mark. We were just giving them help, support, and anything they need. But they are the ones who were really executing things and making sure that people are seeing it, people are impressed and influenced by what they are trying to do. So I think these three things to me is important for any entrepreneur to be successful.
So आपने कहा it's about thinking big. वो क्या सही वक्त हो सकता है किसी entrepreneur के लिए, किसी business के लिए, right? क्योंकि it's important, you have to understand the right time when you're thinking about upscaling, ठीक है? Also how to do it. तो आप उसको किस तरह से देखते हैं on executional level? What will you say?
देखिए, दो चीजें, अगर आपको you want to do 10 things, then you have a different approach. And when you want to do one thing and big thing, then it's a different approach. Because we were very clear after when we started it that we're going to make this our bread and butter. Okay. So that's why we were thinking big from day one, because we wanted it to run our house, and when you want something to run your house, you have to think big. So it is all depends on how visionary you are, and how how you are thinking from a long-term perspective when you're starting something. If it is just something as a hobby, then you will have a very different thinking process. If something is there, you can start small. There is no harm, and that's how it should be, and that's how we did. That we started small, but definitely the thinking of becoming very big was from day one. That this is the market. The market is big. We have seen these success stories across the globe, so we can be one of them. But yes, we didn't invested exactly same way in the beginning. We learned, we improved, we improvised, we kept building on it, and then we went for funding, and now inshallah more things will happen. So I think it's all about really visualizing the future.
Okay, so गलतियों पे बात करेंगे. Very few people are ready to embrace and talk about it, but if you are comfortable, कुछ गलतियां बताएं so that entrepreneurs would learn कि वो गलतियां repeat ना करें.
गलतियाँ तो नहीं, I think it's not गलती, it's more of like learnings.
Okay.
And that's how I always like to address things. You either you are successful or you learn. तो learnings हमारी कुछ रही थी. For example, I think सबसे बड़ी learning is cash flow management, जिसके ऊपर I think we were not clear about it, we could not manage it clearly. So उस पे I think it has been a big learning for us how to manage the cash. Again, if you really want to do a business, you have to be fluid in cash. Okay. So this is one of the learnings. The other learnings, understanding the process, because there are a lot of other entrepreneurs that I meet, and I always tell them that आपका जर्नी जितना स्मूथ रहेगा, like from the product development or the service या जो भी आप ऑफर कर रहे हैं to the customers, to the फाइनल जब वो कस्टमर उसको एक्सपीरियंस करेगा या रिसीव करेगा, द होल प्रोसेस हैज़ टू बी रियली रियली स्मूथ. क्योंकि जितने उसमें लूप होल्स कम होंगे, क्योंकि हमारे साथ हम शुरू कर रहे थे, वी वर डीलिंग विद लॉट ऑफ इंपोर्टेड प्रोडक्ट्स. उसका जो जर्नी, स्पेशली गेटिंग अ प्रोडक्ट फ्रॉम US और UK through Dubai and then getting it to Karachi, and Karachi से then delivering it to other cities, वो उसमें से काफ़ी they were like really rough edges. तो उसको that we have learned over a period of time that you really need to smooth out the process, because जितना वो smooth रहेगा उतना customers के लिए भी आसान रहेगा, and they will keep coming back to you. So yeah, these were few learnings from my side.
Okay.
I think building on what she said, customer experience is something which we were not able to manage in the first 2-3 years in a nice way, and we accept that. We had a lot of dissatisfied customers. अगर आप हमारे पुराने Instagram के posts आके देखें तो lot of bashing will be there, but we have changed that. And we accepted it that we have an issue and we need to sort it out. So it took us good 1 year to, and 2020 was the year where we decided that this is not going on. Because if we do this, we'll be closed. Because if so many people are not satisfied, no matter they know us, they like our product, but if they're not satisfied, whenever the alternative comes, they will go there.
So if the product was good, तो क्या problem?
Service. Okay. Basically, because we were, as she said, that a lot of things we were doing pre-orders, so it was not in our warehouse.
Okay.
So that's why, and the tracking system was not integrated. Yeah. So we used to lose orders.
Yeah.
So just imagine you have ordered and you're waiting for 6 weeks, and 7th week when you call, we said we never had your order with us, or we never placed your order to the supplier. So that was clearly one learning which we took, that customer experience is the most important thing. And last 2 years we have tremendously improved in that, and now we have our repeat sale or retention has gone much higher. Other than that, there are a lot of other learnings, to be very honest. In which areas you should prioritize. Sometimes there is a core. So there is your own personality and there is a business need. So a lot of time you prioritize things based on your personality rather than business needs. So I think that's what we have learned, that it should always be business needs where you need to finalize the priorities. If tech is the most important, tech is the most important. If customer service is the most important, that is the most important.
And what time priorities change.
Absolutely. I think you need to be adaptable. I think there are a lot of other learning, but I would say that is how Pakistan works, that you need to be very adaptable and flexible. Every day there is a new challenge. You are in the business of logistics yourself, so you will know how frequently this country changes.
True.
Today we're doing something and suddenly that tomorrow the thing is completely invalid. So I think you need to be very adaptable, which we are now, but initially we were not that adaptable because we were coming from out of Pakistan for good 10 years, so we were not really equipped. But I think adaptability is extremely important in an environment like Pakistan.
So how do you follow the innovation thing? Because of मुझे ऐसा लगता है fashion business में वैसे भी बहुत कम margin है innovation का, तो तब competitors इतने नहीं थे, अब हैं. So how do you work on that?
I think देखिए वो तो innovation is very important, and I think that's where the exposure we have from outside Pakistan comes in picture. So we follow a lot of brands globally, so the trends which are coming in, because the world is moving very fast.
Yes.
Earlier, the trend will take 6 months, 1 year to reach Pakistan. So now it takes 2 minutes. If something is going live in Spain or live in in US or anywhere else, you're watching it live here. So I think because technology has changed the world, so that's why you have to be very fast in adapting to those trends. So we follow the trends very fast. Our speed to market is what we believe is differentiation versus the other competitors which are there in the market. And the reason why that is, we had the exposure of outside and we've seen all the brands how they have done those things, so we were able to implement this in a better way. So I think speed to market, I would say, is something, and getting the trends to Pakistan is something which we have been doing very nicely.
Okay. So I'd like to ask, what was the most challenging moment for each of you? हो सकता है आपके लिए कुछ challenges अलग हो, आपके लिए अलग हो. Generally तो challenges हर रोज ही रहते हैं, but कोई एक ऐसा moment आपको याद हो कि when you felt like यार ये तो बहुत मुश्किल हो गया मेरे लिए.
Oh, I think this is a long list of challenges.
What tops the list?
I wish I could share, Salman. I think, why don't you go first and share your challenge?
No, I think there were a few challenging decisions, and there were a few business challenges. So challenging decision was for me was to leave a very good job and very well settled life, and coming into an entrepreneurship. I was doing extremely good in my career, and there was long promises from my last employer for the long term. So that was one challenge. That was more of a personal challenge, how to But when you think big, when you think beyond,
You
know,
take
your
big
personal
risks,
needs,
then
you take risk and you try. And the objective was to add value to back to the society. What I have learned outside, and I can bring it, and you know, train the team and create entrepreneurs and leaders within the team. That was, I think, a motivation side to take that risk. Other challenges is, to be very honest, you know, and was not there much till the last 2 years, but last 12 months have been very challenging. That you know, the hope is going down in the
Yeah, I
country,
think.
so that it affects everyone. That affects the motivation. That affects the, you know, how you think through. So I hope things will change, inshallah, very soon.
Inshallah.
But those 9-12 months have been a very different journey, where everybody, you know, everybody you talk to is talking negative. So how to operate in this kind of environment is something. How to keep the team motivated, how to keep the business running. You know, investments will be challenged. How to, you know, suddenly from a business which we're thinking about, you know, going very aggressive on growth and things, that we're still aggressive, but we have changed a lot. That we now we want to be profitable business, versus earlier it was all about how many customers we can acquire, how much growth we can get in a year's time. But now it's all about certainly moving everything to become profitable. So I think, and it's not honestly an internal challenge, it is more of an external challenge, which everybody is facing.
Yes,
We are not alone, but that takes a toll on you. That takes you know, different mindset to do and adapt.
Yeah.
and requires a lot of courage.
Yeah, I think because you know आप एक mindset के साथ जा रहे होते हो और आपका एक goal होता है, you have a plan A, you have a plan B, but कभी कभी चीज़ें इतनी वो off हो जाती हैं, जैसे you know in current scenario things are not going in a very right direction, so वो आपको plan A, plan B ditch करके आपको plan C जो आपने कभी सोचा नहीं होता, so you have to go for that. So I think चीज़ें जितनी quickly change हो रही हैं, the socio-economic conditions in Pakistan they're changing, the landscape is changing very quickly, so I think that is a challenge on its own. And then you know you hear all these news from all around, from you know what's happening with other amazing startups जो आप look up करते हैं, you take a lot of inspiration from, and then
that disappoints you sometimes.
that really scares you, and you know फिर आप disappointment भी होती है, and because you want to you know make sure कि यार these are like you know landmarks in our country, तो उसमें फिर yes that makes you little low at that time. But I think constantly hustling is the only way forward. इसके अलावा तो
Well, that requires a lot of courage to stay consistent, because a lot of people give up in between.